Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Consul General of Barbados, Mr. Rudy Grant.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is really a pleasure and an honor to be here today at this very historic time for the opening of the International African American Museum. As I stand here, I am forced to reflect on our past, connect that past to our present, and do that as we think of the course we will chart with respect to our future. Barbados and Charleston, we are inextricably linked. Many of the slave ships which came here to Charleston, came to the Carolinas, came through Barbados. Barbados was a port where those ships stopped. And as I participated in the various activities, I could not help but wonder what it was like for our ancestors as they journeyed here. It must have been extremely challenging. It must have been extremely difficult. And when I reflect on the reality as well, that the Barbados Slave Code was utilized for the Carolina slave codes, which were harsh, which were very, very difficult, which were inhumane. It makes this moment a very emotional one. But we must not simply reflect on our history without looking at how we can, in a very positive way, contribute to global public good. 2 days ago, in Paris, the World Bank accepted to include for small island developing states a debt resilient clause. And that came out of the Bridgetown Initiative, which was put forward by our Prime Minister, the Honorable Mia Amour Motley. I reflect on that to tell you that we must, in our own ways, determine how we, reflecting on our past, will make this world a better place. Barbados has the largest slave ancestor records outside of the United Kingdom. And those of you who visited Barbados last year, October, would have been to the Newton Slavery Memorial, where 270 slaves are buried. I know that the International African American Museum and our Ministry of Culture will be collaborating. It is important that we have these collaborations because it is critical that our history entwined is one that we recognize that we must utilize for our advantage and to our benefit. On Thursday evening, I was at the AME Church. Wow, what a wonderful time that was. Very fulfilling, very inspiring, and good spiritual food. And after the sermon, I listened to the choir sing the words of that hymn, that song that is performed some 10 million times annually across the globe. Amazing Grace. And as I listened to the words of that song, I could not help but reflect on the fact that that was written by a slave trader. That was written by John Newton, a man who became a preacher and a man who became a slave abolitionist. And I thought to myself, what great a thing how the Lord can transform in his works. My friends, my brothers and sisters, I reflect on that because I believe that as we look at our history and we reflect on our history, we must ensure that we in our individual ways use ourselves to eliminate racism, to eliminate classism, to eliminate chauvinism, and to ensure that we make this world a better place. For when we do that, we will be able together to say those words that Dr. Martin Luther King referred to in his I Have a Dream speech. Free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. "23 years in the struggle and the fight to ensure that this museum becomes a reality. Marcus Messiah Garvey said that a people without knowledge of its history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. The International African American Museum is ensuring that the history is told and that the stories are told and that we connect with our past as we determine how we will go forward in the future. On behalf of the government and people of Barbados, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Mia Moore Motley, on behalf of our Caribbean people, I wish to congratulate the board of the International African American Museum, to congratulate all of you who have made this moment a reality, and to say to you that we in Barbados and we in the Caribbean look forward to collaborating with you as we create a public good in the way we function and the way we act. May God bless all of you. Thank you.